in a move that has shocked and stunned the world and left most of the world wondering what to do, yesterday both China and Russia have announced they will stop trading in the US dollar and use each other's currency for bilateral trade. Vladimir Putin and Wen Jiabao both made it clear that this decision was to integrate a better economic cooperation and was not a tactic designed to go against the recent US cheap dollar policy. The world economic crisis has exposed the faults of the dollar currency used for worldwide trade. Now, this move between Russia and China is very natural given the current state. It's a way to better defend themselves against the current problems of having a US-backed dollar world economy. Many in the Chinese government have come forward and made the statement very clear that this was not intended as a challenge to the US dollar in terms of trade, but it was a measure instituted to defend themselves from the dangers of using the US dollar, which I, for one, tend to agree is actually true. I don't believe that they're challenging the US dollar, but they're trying to protect themselves from it, given the recent US actions with the cheap dollar policy. Now, we all knew that this was coming. I myself actually kind of thought China was going to back down on this one. I thought they were pretty encircled and they were probably going to do a lot of saber rattling and then just give up. But apparently the latest round of quantitative easing by the US Federal Reserve of printing $600 billion has pushed kind of the Chinese into a corner, and as I didn't expect but should have, kind of made the Chinese come out swinging, and this has been a huge retaliatory measure. In fact, a lot of people did not see this coming because Russia and the United States had just signed a New START treaty, which was a sign that their economic relations, or their relations in general, were improving. So this really came out of left field and nobody saw it coming. Now, I'm not an expert in the currency field. I don't claim to fully understand what's going on, and in this particular situation alone, I'm pretty lost. I didn't even think something like this would even happen, so I really don't know how to respond to it. But I'm going to give a couple of hypotheticals that might happen. So please hold off on the "you're an idiot" comment, which you usually don't leave an indication of why that's supposedly true. I'm saying outright that I really don't know this territory, so cut me some slack. Russia and China doing this may affect other people. If I'm thinking maybe if people want to do trade with China and Russia, I mean, if things escalate, then to do business with them, you're going to have to switch to their currency, which means that the United States will have to exchange its currency into the ruble or the yuan in order to do business, which means they're going to lose out on the exchange rate. Now, what's the price of the yuan for the US dollar now? Well, actually, it's a lot more than it actually used to be thanks to the quantitative easing. Now, this means if this does indeed play out, then that would mean that the prices for commodities would absolutely go up. So it would become more expensive. Now, this is only a hypothetical. I'm not really sure. Now, I do know that China and Russia are huge members of the OPEC nations. They're some pretty big players in the global oil industry. So we could probably expect an increase in oil prices. I think that's probably a lock. It's something that will probably happen. But again, an increase in oil prices hurts everybody all around, except the oil companies. It's not fully known right now what's going to happen as a result of this move. But this has become a very intense situation, and this was a huge blockbuster announcement. I actually remember I was logging into my YouTube account, and I got sent a message by Nightcrow Red, who used to be a member of the Maoist Rebel News, and sent me a message, "You got to see this right away." And it was a link to an article detailing this. I was like, it was like a huge shock. I really didn't think something like this was going to happen. This is actually really big news. A lot of people I knew didn't seem to think it really meant anything, but it's actually pretty big. So we really don't know at this point what this is going to lead to, or where this is going to go, or what the full impacts of this refusing to use the US dollar for trade is going to mean. I assume what this is going to do is take away some power the US dollar has. How much, how quickly, we don't know. It also depends on how long they follow down this path. We do know that this is a huge, huge thing that is really instigating the US, and we really don't know how the US government is going to respond to this. And you know they are. They're going to come up with some retaliatory measure. And hopefully this doesn't get out of control and end up giving us another world war.